Hello and welcome to another episode of Issuer Update. Joining me today is Colin Keddy, Director of MetaGuest.AI, ticker symbol METG. Colin, welcome.
Thanks, Dimitri. Thanks for having me.
Great. Thanks for being here. First thing, I want to give you a shout out. 3-year anniversary on September 29th. Congratulations on that massive milestone.
Yes, much appreciated. Thank you so much.
Great. So let's get started. Can you introduce the company, your mission, and the problem that you're trying to solve?
Yeah, absolutely. So MetaGuest.AI is an advanced solution that's specifically for hotels and resorts. And so some of the functionality of what that is allows you the ability to order and request anything typically that you might pick up the phone for within a hotel. But further than that, it's allowing you to have access to external services such as, booking a restaurant, maybe booking a yoga class, and a little more than the way that you might see that in your typical concierge service, as we can get all the way to the transaction where we're not just, the concierge is suggesting, hey, where can I go to a restaurant? You're actually getting to the booking or reservation. And with, say, that yoga studio, not only can we book that reservation, we can make that payment. So real benefit on the other side of that local business partner. And, speaking about the problem that this solves, the hotel industry has really been plagued by, employment restraints for many years. Okay. So, and certainly that was exacerbated through COVID, but it's always been a bit of an issue. So when you think about what our business can offer, it's like having concierge access 24 hours a day, every single room in every single place within the hotel. And we're not eliminating staff from the hotel. Really what we're doing is we're providing a level of functionality for them to actually get to the task. So as opposed to making that phone call to the front desk that then reaches out to housekeeping or maintenance, you're doing that from the comfort of your room. You're making that request, and that's being tracked direct to, say, housekeeping, where you're asking for pillows, and then immediately delivered. So it's about getting that staff member to service you straight away.
Great. And talking about the products, what are some that are offered to your clients?
So it typically it's the same suite of services throughout all of the hotels. So the basis of it, the first vertical would be, as you come into a hotel, again, talking about the efficiency for the hotel, it might be what's the Wi-Fi, what are the pool hours, or how do I access maintenance, how do I do early checkout or housekeeping, things of that nature. So that's kind of the first vertical, is the functionality inside the hotel. And as I say, then it really moves on from there to the local businesses. So, what are the 5 most recommended restaurants, and specifically for that hotel, right? Say a Hilton may have a different recommendation, say, than a Holiday Inn. Again, it's that know your client aspect of things. And so the local business, everything from, I say, the 5 best restaurants to maybe the gyms or spas, things that you can access quite close to the hotel. And then beyond that is more on the local attractions. So when you think about large city centers, such as, say, in New York, it might be Statue of Liberty or the Guggenheim, or being able to go up to an observation deck. What's really interesting about what MetaGuest provides also is this is functioning in over 25 different languages. So in what the data is showing us, we see a really big uptick on that. You think about somebody who's come out of town, typical hotel maybe have English, Spanish, French, something of that nature, but maybe there isn't somebody there that speaks German. But of course, as you and I both know, that view from the observation deck looks the same whether you speak English or German or not. So that's really taking away that language barrier and just giving access to everybody for that unique guest experience. So those are kind of the three major verticals that MetaGuest is servicing for the hotel and the guest.
Great. Yeah, you're totally on point there. Language barrier is something that's definitely something that will help hotels.
Yeah, and we're saying it's. We're seeing that in the data, so it's really neat. I think we're 27 languages now, so we're really seeing a real uptick. And like I say, some of them, I don't want to say obscure, but the less obvious languages, which is great.
Mm-hmm. Fantastic. Can you describe your target market? You touched some hotel chains that you're working with, and how your service is meeting their specific needs, whether they're big or small.
Yeah, absolutely. So yeah, and just to kind of go back, I guess, a little bit of the history of this. When we first started reaching out to the hotels, we were reaching out more on the boutique side of hotels that maybe had minimal functionality. One of the things that we can do is help provide, like say, mini bar type service. So some of the smaller boutique hotels, very limited as far as what technology that they have with inside of the hotel. So that's kind of where we started. But purposely over the course of the last couple of years, we've been everything from that, small hotel on the side of the highway to your, more significant hotel in high city centers and very high end. And what we've realized, it's more of that mid-market 3.5 star to 4-star hotel that would be the target for us. Someone who's maybe driving down Interstate 75 and they're just stopping over for the evening and continuing on their journey. Probably isn't going to use the functionality, say, as much as someone who's going using New York or say South Florida, where they're looking for restaurants and other services and things that they can use. And with that mid-market hotel, we see that people are very happy not to have a direct interaction with the concierge, or maybe they were standing there, waiting in line, 5 or 10 people deep. And then on the very high end, there is more of an expectation of a actual touch point from someone personally. So that would be a great example, which is considerable portion of the hotel market space, North America and really worldwide.
Right. And zooming out a bit, what sets MetaGuest.AI apart in the industry?
So I guess I would start by saying one really great thing about this industry is it's pretty untapped. So just for example, within the U.S. market, as far as and again, we think, well, no, there's lots of technology within the hotel space, but a lot of what you'll see out there is that pre-hotel engagement, right? Making the booking or what you might do in advance of going there. When you think about what technology exists sort of in a real-time sense, like when I get into that room, what can I do? So I think the great part of in the US, for example, which is where we're primarily focused right now, the stat I believe is a little over 90% of hotels have minimum in-room real-time technology options. So it's very much green fields for us as far as that's concerned. That said, there are competing businesses within this industry. I think it would be somewhat scary if we were the only people, who were focused on this marketplace. So, what I think really makes us different is a lot of them are, really focused on that okay, what is the functionality internally to the hotel? Like I said, two or 300 people might call the front desk looking for that Wi-Fi pass. So having the ability to go on the app and satisfy some of these things. So a lot of that functionality is within that space. So where we're setting ourselves apart is, again, who are those neighboring businesses who want to be a part of getting, those eyeballs on them? You think about in a hotel, you've got that constant turnover, restaurants and gyms, being able to have that visibility versus the, very costly aspect of search engine optimization thing, and hoping that that's happening. So we give that ability, like I say, on a hotel by hotel basis to really customize what that solution is and tailor it one to the next. I mean, you could have two hotels that are nearly side by side, one more sort of maybe on the lower end or one on the higher end. And again, understanding and knowing who that client is in tailoring, a high-end steakhouse versus maybe, Denny's or something of that nature. Not to say anything negative about Denny's, great breakfast joint, but again, what services best suit that client?
Great. Now, talking about the services and really staying ahead of not only the competition, but also staying ahead of what the clients want. How do you foster innovation?
Yeah. So, and I mean, great question. Obviously, anything to do with technology, it's really moving at the speed of light. It's constantly and ever changing. So we're extremely cognizant of that, and ultimately not really trying to get ahead of ourselves. It's ultimately driven by our hotel partner. What is that you need? What are the issues? What is it that you want to accomplish? Where are the inefficiencies? And looking at, how can we be an aggregator? Ultimately, you wouldn't want to go into a hotel and see 15 different QR codes on the wall, one for food delivery, one for this and one for that. So a lot of what we see is just, looking for that aggregation of products and services. And, we think a lot will change in this market. It's interesting, given the degree of technology that's out there, as I say, in that real-time aspect of it, there has not been a lot of growth in that space. As you likely recall, I mean, we all use hotels where you pick up the remote control and your sort of ability to get a sense of what the functionality of the hotel and what it offers, you maybe did from the remote control, but very little, you're not obviously communicating with that remote control. So looking, our forward look at technology, we very much believe, and we're already running tests where you'll turn that television on, there'll be some sort of avatar that you'll be communicating to, similar to the way that people will scan something like this, request anything with AI, and immediately looking at tours, attractions, things of that nature. So we're constantly working on what's that next version before it comes out. I mean, we're already looking into 2026 as to our third and fourth level of the platform.
Great. So let's stick with the topic of technology. This covers some of the details there. The AI component. Is there any scaling challenges there or restrictions that you have to watch out for?
Well, I think that's what investors love in general about technology, is just that fantastic scalability. So although obviously we have to keep in consideration the innovation aspect of it, every hotel, although it is unique, as I say, where what they're selecting is as far as function and feature, but our ability to scale this is really not an issue.
Okay, great. Let's zoom in for a moment and talk about performance. How have things been going for the past 12 to 18 months?
You know what? It's been fantastic. It really has. in the early days of turning on our revenue, where the neighboring businesses, they book with they're on a subscription type model, which is great. Everybody likes reoccurring revenue. In our early days, where we were, not even, $10,000 a month, now we're, several $100,000 a month. So it's been absolutely incredible. I think that consecutively we're right in the 38, nearly 40% revenue increase on a month over month basis. And one thing that we're really proud about is not only our hotel partners, we have virtually no attrition for that. I mean, this is a great way for them to communicate with their client base. So this is not a platform where people, we're seeing high turnover. We're really, quite frankly, not seeing any turnover. And additionally, for those neighboring businesses that we talk about, it's a way to engage that has never existed. So yeah, the growth has been absolutely exponential. I think year over year, just a little over 500%. I think almost 520% growth year over year is our last numbers.
Fantastic. Those are some great numbers to post. Moving forward, can you discuss any upcoming projects or initiatives that you're particularly excited about?
Yeah, absolutely. We have got, interest from all over the world for this. So currently we're in conversations with a group out of Europe about expanding through Europe, the EU. So we're particularly excited about that possibility. We're constantly being approached by various businesses and services who want to be on this platform, that we didn't even consider as far as engagement. A lot of those companies will have national platform. So, things like national contracts, say for a drugstore or supermarket, where, they're looking to have a virtual monopoly on all things pharmacy or all things grocery for delivery. So it's we're just constantly being blown away as to where this thing can expand, as well as additional businesses that want to be on our platform. We recently were approached by a company that provides a cashless tipping solution. Often you go into the room and you want to leave something, especially within resorts, say for housekeeping or something, it doesn't exist. Again, going back to Dimitri was saying, you don't want to have 15 QR codes on the wall. So again, as you're going through there's my tipping solution. So yeah, the growth opportunity as far as businesses and geographic, there's just virtually no limitation there.
Yeah, and that's a great point about tipping. There's always, the foreign currency barrier as well. When you're traveling, you don't have the right currency on hand, but you definitely want to leave some tips there. So
yeah,
quite interesting product there. Okay, long-term goals. What are the plans, and then how do you plan to achieve them?
Yeah, so long-term goals, it's really, really growth. So, the bandwidth, the footprint, that's really our key thing right now, which I don't think that we're going to have, a huge amount of trouble with. Currently, we've got about 600 plus hotels in the queue, waiting to be onboarded. So, we certainly don't see any issue as far as growth, as I say, within the North American market, as well as the international market. We'd really like to, say in the next 5 years, hit the 10,000 plus hotel range. And then as far as once we've got those relationships, again, going back to our partners and, just looking to, aggregate and increase efficiency. There's a lot of things about all kinds of different aspects of hotel software that, as we look into the future, that AI will change. This type of integration with, like I say, utilizing on-screen, technology to take some of that, the work off the staff, it's really quite unlimited.
Fantastic. Well, Colin, thank you so much for your time today.
Oh, thank you. Much appreciated.
Very welcome. And for more information on MetaGuest.AI, please visit our website at thecsc.com, ticker symbol METG. Take care.
Thank you so much.